Elvis Presley, the king of rock and roll, had many intriguing moments in his life, but one night stands out as particularly extraordinary. Amidst the glittering lights of fame and the whirlwind of his rocketing career, there was an evening that took Elvis into the realm of the mystical and unknown. This is the story of the night he visited a fortune teller, seeking answers and perhaps solace in a world far removed from the screaming fans and flashing cameras. The fortune teller, renowned for her eerie accuracy and mysterious demeanor, offered Elvis a glimpse into the future that would leave him utterly speechless. The prediction she shared with him was so astonishing, so beyond belief, that it lingered in Elvis's thoughts, influencing his actions and decisions in unexpected ways. Stay tuned to find out the unbelievable prediction that left Elvis speechless. Number 8. Setting the scene. In the midst of his skyrocketing fame, Elvis sought solace and guidance from unexpected places. As the bright lights of stardom shone ever more intensely on him, the pressures and demands of being a global icon often left Elvis yearning for moments of peace and clarity. Despite being surrounded by adoring fans and a devoted entourage, he sometimes found himself feeling isolated and overwhelmed. To navigate the turbulent waters of fame, Elvis turned to unconventional sources for comfort and direction. It wasn't in the glitz of Hollywood parties or the advice of industry insiders that he found what he was looking for, but in the quieter, more mystical corners of life. Whether it was through spiritual advisors, close confidants, or, as in this remarkable story, a fortune teller, Elvis constantly sought deeper understanding and guidance to make sense of his extraordinary life. This quest for solace and insight led him to experiences and encounters that were as fascinating as they were revealing, adding layers to the complex persona of the king of rock and roll. Number 7. Introduction to Tom Jones. Tom Jones, a close confidant and artist, recalls a night that would forever be etched in his memory. As someone who had the privilege of being in Elvis's inner circle, Tom was no stranger to the extraordinary. He had witnessed firsthand the dazzling highs and the private lows of Elvis's life, always standing by the king's side with unwavering loyalty. But there was one particular evening that stood out among the rest, an evening so surreal and unforgettable that it would be recounted with awe for years to come. On this fateful night, Tom accompanied Elvis on an impromptu visit to a fortune teller, a decision driven by Elvis's curiosity and his quest for answers beyond the ordinary. The experience was unlike any other, filled with an air of mystery and anticipation. Tom vividly remembers the dimly lit room, the enigmatic presence of the fortune teller, and the palpable sense of suspense as she began to unveil the future. It was a moment that transcended the glitz and glamour of show business, offering a glimpse into a world of mysticism and profound insight. For Tom, that night was not just a footnote in the legend of Elvis Presley. It was a defining episode that highlighted the depth and complexity of the man behind the icon. Number 6. The night in question. On a quiet evening, away from the public eye, Elvis and Tom set out on an adventure that was anything but ordinary. The hustle and bustle of daily life seemed to fade into the background as the two friends embarked on a journey shrouded in secrecy and anticipation. Elvis, ever the enigma, was driven by a curiosity that went beyond the superficial. He craved an experience that would connect him with something greater, something that could offer insights into the unseen forces shaping his life. With Tom by his side, a trusted confidant who had shared in both his triumphs and tribulations, Elvis felt a sense of ease and excitement as they ventured into the unknown. The streets were unusually quiet, as if the world itself was holding its breath for what was to come. Their destination, a small, unassuming house on the outskirts of town, where a fortune teller of repute resided. This was no ordinary visit. It was a quest for understanding, a search for answers that eluded the bright lights and fame. As they approached, the house seemed to pulse with an energy all its own, hinting at the mysteries contained within. Inside, the ambiance was heavy with the scent of incense and the soft glow of candlelight, casting long shadows that danced on the walls. The fortune teller, a woman of striking presence and mysterious aura, greeted them with a knowing smile. The stage was set for an encounter that would transcend the ordinary, delving deep into the realms of fate and destiny. For Elvis and Tom, this night was poised to become a defining moment, one that would linger in their memories long after the candles had burned down and the incense had faded away. Number 5. Meeting the fortune teller. The fortune teller, known for her eerie accuracy, welcomed the king into her mysterious world with an air of knowing that sent chills down Tom's spine. Her reputation preceded her, whispers of her uncanny abilities reaching even the ears of those in the highest circles of fame. As Elvis and Tom crossed the threshold into her dimly lit abode, they were enveloped by an atmosphere thick with mystique and otherworldly charm. The room was adorned with esoteric symbols, flickering candles casting long, dancing shadows that seemed to move with a life of their own. The fortune teller, draped in layers of flowing fabrics and adorned with intricate jewelry, exuded an aura of ancient wisdom. Her eyes, sharp and penetrating, seemed to peer into the very soul of anyone who dared to meet her gaze. With a gesture both welcoming and enigmatic, she invited Elvis to sit at a table covered in rich, dark cloth, scattered with tarot cards, crystals, and an assortment of mysterious artifacts. Tom watched in awe as the king of rock and roll, a figure larger than life, sat across from the fortune teller, momentarily stripped of his celebrity sheen and laid bare before the mysteries of the universe. The fortune teller's voice, low and melodic, began to weave a narrative that blurred the lines between reality and the supernatural. She spoke of paths and possibilities, of challenges and triumphs yet to come. As her words flowed, a palpable tension filled the room, the weight of her predictions hanging heavily in the air. Each revelation seemed to strike a chord deep within Elvis, resonating with truths he had perhaps always known but never fully acknowledged. This was not merely a reading. It was an encounter with destiny, orchestrated by a woman whose eerie accuracy had the power to unlock the secrets of the future. Number 4. The prediction. As the fortune teller read Elvis's future, an unexpected prediction was revealed that sent a ripple of astonishment through the room. With each card she turned, the atmosphere grew more charged, as if the very air was buzzing with the weight of the revelations to come. Her eyes, now fixed intently on the cards laid out before her, seemed to pierce through the veil of time itself. She spoke of crossroads and decisions, of moments that would define not just his career, but his very essence. The tension was palpable as Elvis leaned in, hanging on to her every word, his normally confident demeanor replaced by a mix of curiosity and apprehension. Then, with a dramatic pause, she revealed a prediction that no one, not even Elvis himself, could have anticipated. The fortune teller foretold a profound transformation in Elvis's life, one that would take him far beyond the stage and into realms of personal discovery and spiritual awakening. She described a journey inward, a quest for deeper meaning that would challenge Elvis to confront his inner demons and seek a higher purpose. This prediction was unlike anything he had heard before, striking at the core of his being and igniting a spark of introspection. Tom, observing from the sidelines, could see the impact these words had on Elvis, the way they seemed to resonate with unspoken fears and hidden desires. It was as if the fortune teller had unlocked a door within Elvis's soul, revealing possibilities that had long been buried under the weight of fame and expectation. The room, heavy with the gravity of her words, seemed to hold its breath, waiting to see how the king of rock and roll would respond to this startling glimpse into his future. Number 3. Elvis's reaction. The king was left speechless, pondering the fortune teller's words, his mind a whirlwind of thoughts and emotions. Elvis, who had faced the roar of countless audiences and navigated the peaks and valleys of stardom, now found himself grappling with revelations that struck at the very core of his being. The fortune-teller's prediction had peeled back the layers of his public persona, revealing vulnerabilities and uncertainties he had long kept hidden. As he sat there, the dim light casting shadows across his contemplative face, Elvis's usual aura of confidence gave way to a profound sense of introspection. He had always been a man of action, driven by his passions and dreams, but now he was confronted with the notion of an inner journey, one that required not just talent and ambition, but deep self-reflection and courage. Tom watched his friend in silence, sensing the magnitude of what had just transpired. Elvis's eyes, usually so vibrant and expressive, now seemed distant, as if he were peering into an abyss of possibilities and uncertainties. The fortune-teller's words echoed in his mind, each phrase unraveling new layers of meaning and significance. What did it mean for a man who had achieved so much, who was adored by millions, to embark on a path of personal discovery? Elvis pondered the idea of stepping away from the limelight, even if just for a moment, to find a deeper sense of purpose and fulfillment. It was a daunting prospect, but also an alluring one, filled with the promise of growth and transformation. The room remained silent, the weight of the fortune-teller's prophecy hanging heavily in the air, as Elvis, the king of rock and roll, sat quietly, contemplating a future that had suddenly taken on a whole new dimension. Number 2. Aftermath. Did the prediction come true? How did it affect Elvis? Tom Jones shares what happened next, unraveling a tale as fascinating as it is poignant. In the days and weeks following their visit to the fortune-teller, Elvis was a changed man. The weight of the prediction lingered in his mind, influencing his thoughts and actions in subtle but profound ways. He began to seek out moments of solitude, carving out time from his hectic schedule to reflect and meditate. Tom noticed a newfound depth in their conversations as Elvis opened up about his fears, hopes, and the existential questions that had been stirred by the fortune-teller's words. The king, who had always been seen as larger than life, was now grappling with the very human struggle of understanding his place in the universe. Elvis's music also began to reflect this inner transformation. Songs that were once purely about love and heartbreak started to carry themes of introspection and spiritual longing. His performances took on an even more intense and soulful quality, as if each note was a quest for deeper truth. Tom recounts how Elvis's journey of self-discovery led him to explore various spiritual practices, from Eastern philosophies to the teachings of renowned mystics. This period of introspection didn't just change Elvis's personal life, it also influenced those around him, inspiring his band members, friends, and fans to look beyond the surface and seek their own paths to enlightenment. The fortune-teller's prediction, once a source of mystery and apprehension, had indeed come true, setting Elvis on a course that would forever alter his legacy. Tom Jones, witnessing this remarkable transformation, realized that the night's encounter with the mystical was not just a fleeting moment, but a pivotal turning point in the life of the king of rock and roll. Number 1. Tom Jones's reflection. Tom Jones reflects on the significance of that night and the lasting impression it left on him and Elvis, casting it as one of the most profound experiences they ever shared. In the years that followed, Tom often found himself returning to the memory of that evening, marveling at how a simple visit to a fortune-teller could have such a far-reaching impact. For Tom, it wasn't just about the eerie accuracy of the fortune-teller's prediction. It was about the deep, transformative journey that it set in motion for Elvis. Watching the king grapple with the weight of his destiny, Tom saw a side of Elvis that few were privileged to witness. A man seeking meaning beyond the adoration of fans and the trappings of fame. It was a reminder that even the most iconic figures are driven by the same quest for purpose and understanding that defines the human experience. Reflecting on that night, Tom realized how it had also influenced his own life. Being a part of Elvis's inner circle meant sharing in his moments of vulnerability and strength, and this particular experience highlighted the depth of their friendship. The fortune teller's words had not only predicted a path for Elvis, but had also opened Tom's eyes to the profound interconnectedness of their lives. He began to see his role not just as artist, but as a confidant and companion on a journey that transcended the ordinary. The lasting impression of that night was a testament to the power of seeking wisdom and embracing the unknown, a lesson that Tom carried with him long after Elvis's final curtain call. The memory of that night, with its blend of mystery, revelation, and introspection, remained a poignant chapter in the saga of Elvis Presley, and a touchstone for Tom Jones as he navigated his own life's journey. Elvis Presley, a legend in every sense, had his share of mystical experiences, but the night with the fortune teller remains one of the most mysterious and talked about moments in his life. This encounter, cloaked in an aura of mysticism and profound revelation, unveiled a side of Elvis that few knew, a seeker of deeper truths and a man willing to explore the unknown. It was a night that transcended the glittering lights of his public persona, delving into the spiritual and existential realms that quietly shaped his journey. As the king of rock and roll, Elvis's life was filled with extraordinary events, but this particular evening stands out for its sheer intrigue and the lasting impact it had on those involved. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more incredible tales from the life of Elvis Presley. Dive into the untold stories and fascinating moments that define the man behind the music, and join us on a journey through the legend's captivating life.